Today we're gonna make mole. Mole is basically the sauce itself. It's just a type of sauce. I'm gonna use half of this jar. You can buy the Myers. I bought it at Myers. I bought it at Walmart. You can find it in the aisles of the sauces and such. There's two different ways of making mole. There's a version that is used with chocolate. And the way I'm gonna make it is I'm gonna make it with peanut butter. Creamy peanut butter. Okay, as far as the chicken part of it, I'm gonna give you two ways. One way, you can just go ahead and buy a bag of chicken, right? And I'm using drumsticks. You can buy like a 5-pound bag of chicken, like, you know, it's mixed parts as far as with breast and chicken wings and all that put in there, a 5-pound bag, normal bag. You can use that, or you can just go ahead and use drumsticks like I'm using, or like chicken wings. You want to do it that way? That's another way of doing it. A little life hack you want to do is, if you don't want to go ahead and make the chicken, you can go ahead and just go buy, like at Myers or things like that, where they do like a rotisserie chicken already pre-made. You can use that, and that way you don't have to. You can bypass the whole cooking of the chicken part and just use that and shred up the chicken off of that, or cut it into pieces, in that kind of way. So if you want to do that and then just have the mole sauce added to it, that's another way of doing it. So going back into the version I was doing with the pot with chicken. Get a soup pot. You know, it's best to get a soup pot. I mean, you can use a normal size, just enough. You just want enough water so it'll cover the chicken. You can do a little bit over, but I would keep it so that it keeps it submerged when you're boiling the chicken, okay? Because that's how you're going to cook it, is by boiling it. You're going to, on this one here, I am going halfway so that it'll cover the chicken. I'm going about this high on the water. With the water afterwards, it's basically, you're going to, after that, it's basically chicken stock, right? So with the chicken stock in itself, I'm going to use some of that water off of that to make the sauce. That's going to be a part of one of the ingredients for the sauce. Now, also if you have leftover stock, don't throw it away. You know, kind of keep it stored. You can freeze it, or you can actually make another dish off of it. And what I put in, I made before, and I'll link to it. I'll link it to it on the top, or I'll also link it into the comments section of my Spanish rice, or my variant of Spanish rice. So you can use the stock to use that for the rice. All right. So. All right, let's get cooking, all right? Okay, so what I have now is I've got, we're over here at the stove, and I turned the flame on high, or high, medium high. And I'm just gonna basically get the chickens that I got. I'm just gonna put them in there. I'm just gonna put them one at a time. I don't want to splash all over the place. There we go. Okay, so let me wash my hands real quick. Okay, so like I said, I went ahead and washed my hands. So what I'm also do is I'm gonna throw some salt in there, and about that much, right? So I would say about what, two tablespoons of salt. I'm just trying to do 2 or 3 tablespoons. I'm just trying to flavor the broth as well. So at the same time, it's also flavoring the chicken as it's cooking in the water, the salted water. It's also going to be another thing as the water is flavored and become chicken stock. You know, it's going to have a good flavor on the water, becoming chicken stock as it's boiling. All right. So let's just go ahead and wait for that, and wait for it to boil, and we'll go from there. So right now we're in the middle of still boiling the chicken. I wanted to show you exactly what we're talking about as far as the scumminess, or the scum off the top of the chicken and the broth. So you see this stuff here? This is what you want to get out of there. We don't want any of that in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continually clean that off the top. So you just get like a small bowl on the side. Just kind of tap it in there. And just get it off the top, all right? Sometimes you'll get some on the side, just kind of scrape off as much as you can. Not be perfect right now. I mean, right now we're just gonna see about trying to get it as we're boiling the chicken. Just kind of go through it. Get like a strainer. You know, buy one of these strainers or something. That's really good.
They're called spiders.
They're called spiders. Oh, okay, spiders. Stick the spider on them. That's what we'll do. All right, so we're just gonna continue to let it boil and see how it comes out. Every so often, you're gonna probably want to check it to see if it's all the way cooked through. All right, so just to check them, check the chicken every so often as it's boiling. What you probably want to do is just grab one of them out, get a pair of tongs and a little knife and thumb. Just grab one out, dig around for one. All right, so what you do is just put it on a plate. It's hot chicken, so still grab it with your tongs and just kind of poke into it, like get a cut into it. And what you're looking to see, if you start seeing pink still in there, then it's still cooked, or it still needs to be cooked, still raw. So it's looking pretty good right now. So it's not pink at all, so it's still well cooked on the inside. All right, so right now we're gonna go ahead and turn off the pot, let it kind of cool down a little bit. We're gonna separate the chicken from the broth. Kind of clean up the broth like we did just a while ago. It was just kind of take all that scum off the top of it and make sure we got a good amount. And so we'll just go ahead and let the chicken cool down. We kind of want to let the chicken cool down a little bit, just so that we can handle it, really. I mean, you want to be able to handle it, because you got two ways of doing it with the putting it in the mole sauce. Is you can keep it whole with the bones. Kind of makes it a little bit more sloppier trying to eat it because of the mole sauces. So what we like to do is we'll shred the chicken off the bone, and then with the bone we'll shred it up and we'll add it into the mole that way. All right? So I'll show you how to do that part. We're gonna go ahead and take the chicken out. Okay, so what I end up doing is getting a colander, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab the chicken. I'm just gonna put it on top of there and have it so it's over the pot, so that if it's dripping, it'll drip back into the pot, the water or the chicken stock. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and grab those. Let me turn off the stove as well. We don't need that anymore. We're just gonna do that until we can get them all out there, because we want to preserve the chicken stock for the mole sauce and for the for rice. Like I said before. Again, like I said before, I'll link that in my show notes, my comment section, and really got it. Okay, so we're gonna give it a couple of shakes like that, and then we're just gonna set that into the sink and just have it sit there and kind of cool down a little bit until we can kind of handle it a little bit, right? So, and at this part, you can actually go ahead and, since we don't get that, we can still kind of clean up the remainder to make sure there's no scum part on the top of it left. See all that? Yeah. Anyways, all right. So from there on, now we'll go ahead and get ready to set up for the mole. I'll show you how to do the mole sauce. All right. And, well, first of all, we'll probably end up doing is we're going to go ahead and shred up the chicken, and then from there we'll go ahead and make the mole sauce, because then we'll add the shredded chicken into the mole sauce. All right. Got them in the like I said, in the sink. And what we're going to do is another way to do it to kind of speed up the process and stuff, or actually a good way of doing it as well. You don't have to wait for a long time for the chicken to cool down. So what we do is we go ahead and kind of run it under like cold water. And as we're kind of shredding it and getting the pieces of the meat off, we'll kind of put it in there, and that's how we're just taking it off the bone, and we're just kind of running it underneath water, because if it gets a little too warm or hot, you just kind of do that. And so what we're doing is we're just separating the chicken from the bone.
Taking out any pieces you don't want to use.
Right, taking out the skin. And we're just keeping it inside this bowl, so that way afterwards we just kind of shake it off, and then we just toss it. So I'm just going through, I'm just kind of grabbing the meat and kind of squeezing it, and I'm squeezing it so I can just kind of pull at what I'm squeezing on it, like that. And just taking it off, separating what you want to put in your mouth. because you have like cartilage and stuff on it as well, so you don't want, you know, to bite in a piece of cartilage when you're eating either. All right, so we're just gonna go through that and kind of go through all of them and just do that, and then we'll get back to you and we'll show you how, you know, we're gonna just basically when we get to this, we'll just kind of shred up some more, or kind of keep some big chunks, but we'll just kind of shred it. You know, we'll just kind of shred it, you know, kind of like that. We'll just roughly shred it and kind of keep some big pieces, because it's kind of nice to have some big pieces as well when you're eating it. So kind of like that. We're going to be looking like that when we're done. You know, some big pieces and some shredded pieces here and there. So we're going to go through the whole bowl over here and kind of separate it and do it that way, and then keep all the skin and the bones here. All right? Okay, so now we're back at the stove. We went ahead, like I said before, we shredded the chicken, kind of separated the chicken with the bone from the bones, and that's pretty much what you're looking for. I mean, you got some bigger pieces, you got some smaller pieces, but you know, that's pretty much how you want it. You watch my hands. I was touching on chicken all over the place. All right, so what we do now is we just went ahead and opened up the can of boiling. It's kind of hard because you have to like grab it and kind of push over it. Just be careful, because then you've got this liquidy stuff in it. You know, and you don't want that splashing everywhere. It'll get all over your hands. See what I mean? So that's why I always have one of these, so I can always wipe my hands down on it. All right, so we've got that. We got the chicken stock off to the side. And we opened up the jar of peanut butter as well. So that pan, just get a pan that kind of got a little depth to it, because it's a sauce, so you don't want it to like spill over and stuff. So I'd give it some little bit of height on the pan that you want to use. If you don't have one, if you have just a normal big pan, like a frying pan type thing, then just go ahead and use that. I mean, we use what we got, right? All right. So I'm just going to turn it up in medium heat, medium high. I'm just going to warm everything up. I'm just going to get some oil and put it on there, because what we're going to do is we're just going to start. It's just an oil base. We're going to start cooking this up. I'm trying to warm this up. Okay. With a spoon, you'll probably just get a spoon. Like I said, it's kind of creamy, but there's solid in there. It's a solid piece. So let's see. So what I do is I like working my way down. Be real gentle, just try and work your way down the thing to kind of work it. You'll see the bits and pieces that we're talking about. It's kind of like that. See, it's that kind of pieces in there, and that's what you're going to dig out. But it's kind of hard in there. They kind of pack it in there really good. So you're just trying to get a good mixture, or a good mix in that, you know, mixing that liquidy part on the top with the solidness inside. So you just kind of work away at first. All right, so, and I'm just gonna go, like I said, halfway, so I can then scoop some in there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some of that. I'm just gonna dobble it in for a dollop. That's the word, dollop. See, that's to the floor. So I'm just gonna grab, like I said, half. Just throw it in there. All right. So we'll put that to the side. We're just gonna cook it for a little bit. Get it warmed up, get it good. Kind of mush down on it, kind of break up those solid pieces down. Just turn it down to medium heat. We don't want to go too fast with it. We don't want to burn it. So just kind of work it into the oil. All we're doing is just trying to mix in those solid pieces in with the liquidy part, and that's all we're working on, trying to get that broken down into it. If it's stuck on your thing, just kind of do that, and just poking at it and rubbing, pushing it down to kind of rub it into it. Okay, at this part, we're doing that. As soon as that gets broken down, it starts warming up, we're gonna go ahead and add the peanut butter. Okay. So that's what you're looking at right there. See how it's like really liquidy, more big chunks and pieces of it. Alright. Alright, so let's get it. I like these. These are really good. It's for scooping things out of jars. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a good hefty amount. I would say about a cup. Maybe 2 cups. I'd say 2 cups. Peanut butter right in there. Just throw it in there. It helps. Pan's hot, so it just comes right off the look at that. Okay, so we're gonna work that in there really quick. Get the sides, just work it in there. It's gonna heat up. Just gonna warm up the peanut butter and I'm just gonna work together. Work them in together. Combine them. All right. So about this point here, what we're going to do is we're going to get of the chicken stock like we got up here, right? So I'm just going to get a good amount like that. See? That's right there. I've got about 3 cups. I'm just gonna not pour it all. I'm just gonna pour a little at a time until I get a good consistency of how I want it. I'm just gonna see. So right there, I went ahead and put half of that, half of 3 cups, so about 1.5 cups. And if it gets a little crazy like that, just go ahead and turn down the heat a little bit more. And so you're just trying to incorporate it all. And if it gets a little too crazy, too wild, just kind of take it off the heat. All you're doing is it's going to start thickening up, and you're just going to keep adding and adding and adding. It looks kind of messed up, but it's just keep working at it. Don't worry about it. Just keep adding a little at a time. Take it off the heat. It'll come back around and gain liquid again. I'm just going to keep working at it. It looks like it's burnt, but don't worry about it. We're just going to keep adding more liquid to it. That's all 3 cups of it right now. So it's starting to thicken up a little bit more, but again, put it on low heat now because you don't want to start bubbling all over yourself. It's got a good warm. So right now we're going to go ahead and grab another cup. So you're basically just keep working with the chicken stock until you get a nice cream. It's real creamy, not so thick. Just keep going. You're looking for like that. You're a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more, not much more. Just like that. There we go. That's pretty much it right there. See, that's the consistency you're looking for. See, it's not hardened, it's just really nice sauce. And at this time right here is when you go ahead and just incorporate the chicken now. Just put it in there. Just throw it all in there. Just work it through. Because that'll warm back up the chicken as well. And that's one of the things like, oh, why are you putting it underwater, the chicken? You're gonna get rid of all its flavor. Well, that's okay, because we're gonna put it back, we're putting it into the mole, and the mole is actually what's gonna flavor it as well. We were just flavoring the chicken stock so that we can reuse it so as we pour it into the mole sauce to make it much more of a not so thick sauce, but of a creamier sauce. But then also we can save the chicken stock for, like I said before, for the rice or for anything else that you want to use for chicken stock. All right. So there you go. All right. So that's about it. And I'm just going to shut this off now. That looks good. That's it right there. All right. So let's see about plating it up. We'll go from there. Okay. Okay, here it is. I went ahead and plated it. Here's the rice I was kind of talking about every so often. You know, I mean, I kept talking through the whole video. I kept saying about, you know, if you can use with this, the chicken stock, you can actually make it, you know, save it, and then you can make the rice. And I got, like I said before, got a rice video. Just watch it. I'll put it in the comment section, and I'll put it at the top as well again. But here it is. Here's the mode. Look at that. It's just nice and easy. You know, nice and smooth and creamy. Look at that. Nice. So, and like we said with the rice, you can just kind of grab some of that rice and mix it in with it all. It gives a good flavor as well on that. Just more and more different flavors, all right? Where are you going? Chicken mole? Put things where no one can always stick things just to get out. Get things out of the way, because then you'll get mad if you can't find it. Right?
Yeah.
All right, let me see.